Charlotte, and this is the 2025 Hyundai Tucson Ultimate Hybrid. So this is the very top trim level of the Hyundai Tucson and its hybrid powertrain. And let me tell you, if you want fully loaded and a fuel sipper, this is the car for you.
The best part is that the MSRP of this vehicle is only $47,399. So that does not include any of your fees and taxes, but today we're walking you through everything that price point gets you on this vehicle. So all of the tech, all of the safety, the exterior, the interior, if there's something that you want to know about, we're going to cover it in today's review for you. And the best part is this is done completely live.
Yes.
So that means that it's one take, no script, and the best part is that we get to use the live chat. So if you guys have any questions about it, feel free to put them in that live chat. And if you're watching this after it's already posted, first of all, if you still have questions, leave them as a comment down below. But before you do that, make sure that you hit the subscribe button on your way down to the comment section and also like this video. Gabby and I also have a podcast available for streaming on any of your favorite podcasting platforms, so go and check that out. It's called Trunk Talk.
All right, guys, let's take a look, starting off with the front end of this vehicle, but we'll also dig into the powertrain, the interior, of course, and because this is a fully loaded model, there's a lot of technology to talk about.
Oh, man.
That's why it's a full in-depth review, and that's why it's going to be a long one.
Let's go.
All right, first we'll start off with the front end. I do have the lights off right now because there's actually a design cue on this vehicle that I think is exceptional. It's going to be the front grille. So the front grille of this vehicle is finished in a nice dark chrome, so it has that shine, but it also gives you that nice dark appeal. Truly the best of both worlds. Your Hyundai emblem is also going to be finished in a nice flat black material, so although it is darker than the grille itself, it doesn't look out of place or like a super dark contrast compared to the rest of the vehicle. It's all done very tastefully. Now that design cue I was mentioning earlier that I think is very well integrated into the car actually comes down to these cubes or block pieces right over here. Not exactly cubes, these are rectangular and they almost span out in like an angel wing style. This is actually going to be your daytime running light. Now it's a full LED on this vehicle, making it extremely bright and very noticeable, but the way it's kind of, I guess, involved in the design of the vehicle looks fantastic. I seriously always love talking about this on the Tucson, and I'm so happy they kept it for the 2025 model refresh. And again, the 2025 model is refreshed, so there are some things in this model year that were not available in 2024, so make sure you follow along. I'll also point out the main headlamp itself before I turn it on. It's going to be fully LED as well, and you're also going to have this vehicle have a projection headlamp with intelligent high beam assist. So if you do turn your high beams on, the vehicle will automatically shut them off if it senses another vehicle in your proximity, as long as you've got the auto high beam function on. If you just have your high beams on, you're controlling it yourself, it's not going to do that for you. Just a disclaimer. Now in terms of tech and safety, of course with the Ultimate, you're going to get everything you can get on this vehicle. First thing I'll start off with is not exactly new, but it's the forward collision avoidance system on this vehicle. Now it is advanced, so in the sense that it will pick up pedestrians, cyclists, other motorized vehicles of course, but also work in junctions if you're making a left at an intersection, lane change oncoming, and a whole other array of kind of anticipated collision circumstances. So the vehicle can sense that there's a risk, warn you as a driver, and then apply brake force to mitigate a collision. It's very smart indeed. Now, additionally, on the right-hand side, kind of skewed off, we'll have a rectangular plate, and that's going to be utilized for your radar sensor, for your advanced collision, not advanced collision avoidance, but advanced smart cruise control and highway drive assist. So this trim level will give you HDA, highway drive assist, meaning that it can change the speed limit based off the conditions of the road that you're on, so speed limit changes, but also curves ahead of the road, as long as you're on a recognized highway. It'll also allow you to set between 4 different distance levels based off the vehicle ahead of you, so you can adjust yourself to however you feel most comfortable, and the vehicle will take it from there. It'll give you steering assistance, throttle assistance, and take you to a complete stop if you hit stop and go traffic. It all does it on its own, and it's very smooth. All right, you probably want to see the lights in action now. I'll turn those on, and I'll also point out a couple more functions up at the front before we work our way under the hood of the car. So again, watch how the front grille transforms into those daytime running lights. Let's give it on. And then we got the whole light system on right now, right, Char? Oh, no, not anymore. Hold on. One more click. There we go. So fully digitized or fully illuminated, you can see.
Digital lights.
Bold, bright daytime running lights, and then your very bright main headlamp unit. A couple other things we have on this vehicle are going to be forward parking sensors. So these are our proximity sensors that will beep inside the cabin as you approach something. So think if you're pulling up to a garage door or another vehicle. But not only that, there's also a camera located right in the very front center underneath the Hyundai emblem. So you'll get a live camera feed of whatever's happening ahead of your vehicle if you're pulling up. But of course, if you are reversing this vehicle, we also have a backup camera. And I will say, Hyundai kills it with their camera quality. It is seriously so, so crisp. Much better camera quality than how we film our live videos. So if you're wondering why our videos are 720p, but that's HD, couldn't tell you.
Yeah.
We should film our videos on that.
Sam wants to know, where does the license plate go on the front?
Ooh, good question. So because this vehicle isn't just for the Canadian market, we don't just have one point of entry. I don't know if you guys can tell on camera there,
Yeah.
but there's a little divot.
It's the markers there for your screws and for your bracket.
Yeah, so we'll put the bracket in through those screws there, but if you're in another market, let's say Europe, obviously you guys have larger license plates. There are dedicated, wider entry points as well. So it's a universal car. Fits everything. All right, I'm gonna shut off those lights so we don't kill our battery, and then I'll pop the hood for you guys so we can take a look at our powertrain. Now, hybrids can be pretty confusing, especially if you've never owned a hybrid vehicle before, or if this is your first time shopping for a vehicle and you're considering hybrid. Everyone knows hybrid often comes with fuel efficiency, but how it does that is quite impressive. So this vehicle utilizes a 1.6 liter turbocharged gasoline engine. So that will be the gas component of the hybrid powertrain. Now this engine itself only produces about 178 horsepower and 195 pound-feet of torque. And while those aren't exactly low numbers, you do get an extra huge boost both in performance but also efficiency thanks to the 47.7 kilowatt hybrid electric motor. So that hybrid electric motor will provide you with about 65 horsepower, I believe, and combined you get 231 with 258 pound-feet of torque. So together, we are better, we are stronger, and we are more efficient.
Better together.
Better together, just like Charlotte and I. Whenever I do these videos by myself, I struggle.
Same girl.
I need my girl. So of course, with those powertrains combined together, you get an average fuel efficiency of about 6.7 liters per kilometers. That's 6.7 liters combined, 6.7 on the highway, 6.7 in the city. Something an SUV of the size, especially with all-wheel drive, will not get unless it's a hybrid. If you ask me what the fuel efficiency is of the regular Tucson, just gasoline, it's not that good. So exceptionally well. And another bonus of a hybrid powertrain is if you are doing a lot of stop and go driving, or let's say you're waiting to pick up somebody, you're just sitting in Toronto's traffic, you're actually not idling your vehicle. So it's going to be in EV mode, meaning that you're not wasting any unnecessary gas. So it's very, very efficient, especially in situations where regular gas cars would be extremely inefficient. All right, back to the car though. Let's take a look at the wheels. These are 19-inch alloy wheels. They do have a nice machined finish on them, and you do get a nice premium Michelin tire on top of that. Now that's an all-season tire, and speaking of all, we also get all-wheel drive. Now that is standard on our hybrid Tucsons here in Canada. It is an advanced version of our highway drive system, all-wheel drive system, in the sense that we do have dedicated terrain modes. So between snow, mud, and sand, you can manually pick whichever one you'd like, and it will adjust the torque distribution based off those preset settings. Now, if you're just doing regular driving, and let's say you turn onto a gravel road or a muddy road, that's okay. You don't have to throw it into mud mode. The vehicle itself will distribute the torque based off what the conditions deem. So the car will decide. The computer is also very smart. So even if you have those terrain modes, you don't necessarily need to use them because the car's looking out for you. Also on the topic of our wheels and tires, we get brakes. So we get larger brakes up at the front, ventilated disc brakes, and then solid disc brakes in the rear. All right, let's take a look at the rest of the body and the profile of the vehicle. So today's car is shown in Atlas White. This is the complementary color for Hyundai in Canada. I think it looks stunning and definitely one of our most popular colors. You do get some nice black wheel arches, also extending towards the side skirt of the vehicle. So we've got some nice flares along the bottom, the door. I will also say we're seeing this in more and more of our vehicles, but this bottom rocker is actually covering the door. So that means when you hop into your car, especially in Canada where salt and mud and just general road debris gets kicked up, your pant legs should stay dry when you hop in if you kind of lay them on there.
Which is honestly so underrated, especially if you're putting like a kid in a car seat or something like that in the back seat.
No one thinks about it until everybody's car looks like that. I don't know if you want to flip the camera on Jeannie's car, but do you see how the bottom is covered in salt? That's where your leg's gonna go. The door ends before the rocker. You guys, they thought of everything here. So seriously underrated. A couple other things, there's gonna be a good amount of black finishes of this car. So you'll notice that the pillars are finished in a nice gloss black. And that also translates to your roof rails. The roof rails are a sleek gloss black. A couple other powertrain things I would like to point out. This vehicle does have a 6-speed automatic hybrid transmission, so not a dual clutch. And this vehicle does also have a more advanced system for regenerative braking. So in the previous models of the Tucson Hybrid, because the Tucson's not just a hybrid for this year, We had regenerative braking, but it was done so on the vehicle's demand. So if you let off the accelerator, you would see some build back in your charge thanks to the regen system. But now we can utilize our paddle shifters to set the amount and even utilize the automated function. The automated function almost reacts like a half cruise control in the sense that you control the acceleration, but as soon as you let off the gas, the vehicle will decide the amount of brake force based off the traffic ahead of you, if there's a decline in the road, or sorry, steep in the road, that kind of thing. So it's very, very smart, a lot of fun to play around with too, and of course that builds back energy into your vehicle. The topic of energy in your vehicle, you don't plug in this kind of hybrid, although there is a plug-in hybrid option. So this vehicle will exclusively build its charge back based off the engine running or your regenerative braking system. All right, so wait, one last thing, door handles. Charlotte, do you mind showing them?
Yep, of course.
All right, so for the door handles, it doesn't look like there's a button there because there's not. However, there is a sensor. And as long as the key is somewhere in your pocket or on you, you can walk up to either the driver or passenger front door, put your hand over here, it'll unlock for you, and then once you're done driving, just rest your hand on here again, and then it'll lock for you. It's looking for the key. I don't have it, it's inside. All right, let's take a look at the back now. All right, back end of the Tucson. Nice and clean thanks to the fact that the rear wiper is hidden underneath the spoiler. Also in the spoiler, you'll see your high mounted stop lamp, a nice huge back window with your Hyundai emblem integrated into the glass itself. Speaking of glass, I didn't mention this when we were in the front, but I should have. This vehicle has gotten so many compliments on its insulation. What I mean by that is the road noise. So comparing it to the Toyota RAV4 Hybrid and other competitors, it is so quiet inside this cabin. Unless you're listening to music or if you have kids, you can seriously just enjoy the drive or whatever kind of music you're listening to because you're not hearing the wind or the road noise. It's so quiet. You also get an acoustic laminated windshield, just general great build. All right, your tail lamps now, expanding all the way across the back end of this vehicle. Lots of dark accents surrounding the light housing as well too, so it gives it an almost tinted look, but without the full corny tint. You get Tucson badging on the left-hand side, done in our nice brushed aluminum finish. And then on the right-hand side, you'll get your H-Track badge with your hybrid designation. The liftgate is powered. It's also height adjustable, so you can set it to whatever your preference is by manually moving it and pressing and holding this button until it beeps. There's also a proximity function that you can turn on or off, so you can set it to automatically open the liftgate once it senses you standing here with the key fob. Back here, you'll see an abundance of cargo space. Seriously, so much room. The benefit of the Tucson as opposed to some of its larger hybrid competitors is the fact that because there's no third row here and there's no captain's chairs in the middle, you can truly move 5 passengers and still have so much cargo room. All right, let me move this out of the way. And there's our plate bracket. You guys were asking about this earlier. This will get drilled onto the front end and then the license plate will sit right on top. So back here, you'll notice each rear seat has a car seat tether. And then on the left-hand side, you'll find latches, or handles, I guess, to knock down your rear seats. So you can fold them down 40-60, 60-40, whichever your preference is. And they fold almost completely flat. Now that one can still be pushed down to lock it into place. It's not fully locked, but you get the idea. Underneath the floorboard, you have a styrofoam organizer. It's an organizer built into the car. You got your tow hooks and a tire mobility kit. No spare tire on this hybrid. I understand why they did it. I know some people are upset about that. You can always purchase a spare tire yourself, aftermarket, but it does not come with a spare tire. You do, however, get 5 years, unlimited kilometers of roadside assistance with this vehicle all throughout North America. All right, and I think my last point for the exterior, probably a couple more design cue highlights. You get that almost dark chrome again, although this is lighter than what we see in the front grille, spanning all the way across the upper belt line of the vehicle in that rear element there. And then fuel tank wise, it's a 52-liter tank as opposed to the 54 on the gasoline Tucson, so slightly cheaper to fill. Although it's a turbocharged engine, you do not need premium fuel, so regular unleaded is just fine. And again, the fuel efficiency specs is 6.7 liters per 100 kilometers. Pretty good if you ask me. You can also see it do better depending on how you drive. So, shall we take a look inside, Char?
Let's go.
Okay.
Okay, do you actually want to open up the door?
Oh, yes.
So we're actually going to start this up just because this vehicle actually, it's just arrived to our Hyundai store. It hasn't gone through its whole pre-delivery inspection, which means it's road test too. So we want to keep it running because we don't want anything to die on it. It's still in its shipping mode. Okay, so let's talk about some of my favorite features that we have on the driver's side door. And a lot of these are actually going to be exclusive to the Ultimate trim. So starting right up top, I think we're going to have to talk about the fact that this has memory seats. That also means we're going to get a powered driver's seat with that. Now, memory seats, I love this, especially if you're a multi-driver household. It allows you to save multiple different seating configurations to your user profile. We can actually do 2 per user profile for a grand total of 6. So that's a ton, especially again, if you're a multi-driver household. As we move down, you'll see some really great black elements. I love that we're doing a mix of materials like leather, plastic, and also cloth. Chrome painted door handles, electronically controlled mirrors, however they're not power folding, and our front 2 windows are going to be one touch with obstacle detection. We also have regular, just piano black, and regular automatic windows too. Down below, storage compartment, bottle holder, that's going to be the same on the passenger side as well, and one of 8 of our Bose premium sound system speakers. So nice to have a premium sound system in this vehicle. Again, really going to help you enjoy the fact that it's a quiet ride and you can have the best experience for your music or whatever audio you plan to play in your vehicle. Talking about the driver's seat, like I said, it is, I need to turn the vehicle on. Oh, okay, 12-volt battery reset.
12-volt battery reset is an awesome invention.
So actually, Gabby, do you want to show them the fact that the battery is not there?
Yes. So no true battery here.
Okay, you can come back now.
Here we are.
So remember the fact that the battery is not there for just a couple minutes. I'll finish talking about the seat, then we'll talk about the battery. Okay, so power driver's seat, nice, height adjustable as well. You can adjust your backrest too. And you even have the inclusion of lumbar support, so very comfortable. Love having multiple different ways to configure it, especially when you're able to save all of those configurations. These seats for the driver and passenger, they're going to be heated and ventilated, and they are leather as well. As we take a look at this side, let's talk about that battery. And here you can hear the engine kicking on too. Don't worry, we've got the door open. So here's your 12-volt battery reset, and this is essentially going to act as a boost for your vehicle. So if by any chance, like what just happened, the vehicle is dead, you are able to go and press that, then start up the vehicle, and it's going to give you that boost that you would need, which is fantastic because that battery is not easily accessible. Over here as well, we're going to have our brightness adjuster, tailgate control, electronic parking brake, and your traction control too. I'll also point out the fact that we have a fingerprint scanner, which is exclusive to this trim, so you can use that to start and access your user profiles if you would like. You don't have to use it if you don't want. And we also have the inclusion of heads-up display, which I'm not sure if you guys will be able to see. So there you go. You can see heads-up display right in front of us, which does give you the option for augmented heads-up display as well. So a little bit more detail, shows a little bit more, which is certainly cool to see, especially when you are using it with all the safety features you can configure from your steering wheel. All right, do you want to come around? So you guys are really going to get to experience the sound deadening, which we talked about. So it's definitely a lot quieter in here now that we have the windows shut. And again, we're just running this vehicle that way, charge up the battery. Okay, steering wheel directly in front of me. It is leather wrapped, it is heated. It's a very nice steering wheel, has a really great weight to it when it comes to the actual steering of the vehicle. In the center, we have H in Morse code for Hyundai, and then a split between our driving and our media controls. So driving controls on this side, so you can access your highway drive assist and adjust it, as well as your lane keep, your lane follow, and you even have this notes icon here too, which is gonna allow you to cycle through this center screen. Now the full display is digital, it's 12.3 inches, so it is quite large, which is very nice to see. And you can cycle through all of the different options. You can even see your turn-by-turn navigation if you are using Hyundai's in-house nav. And then also which safety features are going to be enabled. You'll also notice we have an digital is what I mean to say, speedometer, and also our power bar here, so power band bar. So when you're putting charge back into the vehicle, when you're driving it in a fuel-efficient manner, and when you're kind of overarching on that fuel-efficient manner. The nice thing too is as you change the different drive modes, let me put that into sport, it is going to go and change traditional tachometer. So if you miss your tach, don't worry, it's still there. Okay. Let's talk about this one because it's a little bit of a hot commodity, hot contender is what I meant to say. And you can even see some of the infrared light coming through it. This is going to be your forward attention warning or your driver's attention warning. It's essentially designed to monitor your eyesight to make sure that it is kept on the road. Now, I haven't been able to test this out for myself because it's all been sold units. I've heard some mixed reviews. I guarantee if you've read any of the forums on it. I've also read the forums on it, which is why I want to test it out, and I'm keeping my opinion to myself.
I think every time we've picked up a Tucson with that function, I've been the one to drive it back.
Yeah.
And I've never...
You've never had anything beep at you.
I've never even noticed it for the
No.
most part.
So as far as our experience goes, it's been pretty decent. Like, we've never had any beeping or obstruction or anything like that. Okay. Also behind our steering wheel, we are going to have those paddle shifters like Gabby mentioned, and they are going to go and, I keep doing that, allow us to adjust our levels of regenerative braking. Let's see if it'll let me, I probably have to be in drive. Yeah. Our levels of regenerative braking when you are in eco mode. If you are in sport mode, they're going to function as a regular paddle shifter to allow you to go and cycle through your transmission, or your gear shift, your gears, whatever you want to call it. Lighting stock, wiper stock, and then as we move over here, you'll see our multimedia screen as well. So 12.3 inches. I already mentioned the fact that we have integrated navigation, your media icon, and you're going to have your designated hybrid screen as well. I really like this because it's essentially going to show you how the vehicle is operating, what mode it's in. So if it's idling, if it's in EV mode, like if it's idling with the motor, if it's idling just in EV mode, and then it also labels things to let you see the power or the energy flow to, and also when you're putting that back into your battery. So very cool to see. And then you can also see your specs here between the motor use and the hybrid fuel economy. Of course, keep in mind this is not going to be accurate as to what you'll actually be seeing in real world scenarios. Oh my goodness, I'm so thirsty. Phone projection, because of the software that we have in this vehicle, it's going to be a wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, which is fantastic. No cords needed, especially because we do have a wireless phone charger too. Then I want to pop into setup because there's a couple different things that we can do here as we take a look at the vehicle. So driver's assistance to adjust those safety features on the exterior can be done through this button. Your drive modes, my apologies, can be done through here. And you can even customize your drive mode to do something as baby mode. No, it does not mean it gets you pregnant, although I am. What baby mode does is because hybrid electric vehicles or plug-in hybrid vehicles, they have such high torque. They have really strong linear acceleration. So when you're coming out of a stop and going, basically this is designed to even it out for those who may be sensitive in the back seat. So that is there. You can also do any other combination for your custom. So if you want to do a sport powertrain with normal steering or an eco powertrain with sport steering, you can have a lot of fun playing around with those combinations. I'll also pop into our eco vehicle screen because this is where you're going to see a lot of the stuff that Gabby was talking about on the exterior. Now, if you are using Hyundai's in-house navigation, so the head unit navigation, you can use your coasting guide, which will basically let you know when to take your foot off the accelerator to start coasting to, again, help with your fuel consumption. You're also going to have that smart regen, which can be controlled with your paddle shifters when it is enabled. And that's what's going to go and adjust the vehicle based on the driving speed, the road grade, everything that Gabby mentioned on the outside when she said, man, it's so smart. And she's right. It's called smart regen for that reason. And then also you have your green zone EV drive. So this is to help us keep the vehicle into EV mode, especially when you're in areas of high congestion. So think school zones, not only where there can be a lot of traffic, so a lot of opportunities for idling, but also where there can be a lot of people to help reduce emissions. So very cool to see everything that you can do from this eco vehicle screen, for this being basically the entry point of what we consider to be a green vehicle, hybrid, plug-in hybrid, electric, So very cool. Down below, I like that we have this cloth detailing, push to start, as we know, column mounted shift by wire, which is going to open up a lot of space in the center to be like a purse holder, just a lot of storage space that you can now use by moving that out of the middle. Down below, we have buttons and dials here, which are going to be used for your media controls and then also your climate controls. So this is a screen that does provide haptic feedback. So you have dual zone climate control, and then from here you have your heated and ventilated seats, a driver only function, which is going to basically focus the air conditioning or whatever climate control it is that you'd like just on the driver, because keep in mind this is still a green vehicle, which is going to draw power when you are heating up the whole vehicle. So if it's just you in the car, just use that. It's still going to keep you nice and comfortable, don't worry. Fan speed, fan direction, front and rear defrost, recirculated air, fan direction, heated steering wheel, all of that is done here. Pretty straightforward. It's not going to be rocket science when you take a look at it when you get into this vehicle. USB-Cs if you want to use some type of connectivity, and another one for charging. And then also you're going to have your 12 volt, a little peep of some nice ambient lighting down below as well in blue. And then again, here's that storage space that you can use for bags, smaller items, now that we have moved the shifter out of the way. Your wireless phone charger is located right here, right next to you. You have your drive and terrain modes, so press this down to switch between them, and you can use this dial to flick between them, as Gabby talked about on the exterior. Now you can see how it affects it on the interior. So there's terrain modes, there's your drive modes with that customizable My Drive. Your auto hold as well, so when enabled, if you're driving and you bring the vehicle to a full and complete stop, this will actually allow you to take your foot off of the brake. It will hold you there until you put your foot back on the accelerator and go. Downhill braking assist, your rear view camera, which on this case of this vehicle is going to be a full 360 camera. So here it's using the front camera. You have different viewpoints as well, as you can see, so a closer up view, your traditional rear view with dynamic guidelines, and then again that full 360 picture, putting it all together. You also do have a drop down if you are doing towing. That's definitely helpful for towing. Also your parking sensors. The nice thing is if these sensors do detect anything on the front or on the rear, it is going to go and pull it up for you. The camera feed just lets you know what is ahead of you. 2 cup holders. Good amount of hidden space here with a little spot here that I like to put either my change or my sunglasses or glasses. ECM mirror with HomeLink, so this does automatically dim for you, and then also HomeLink. You do have Hyundai's Blue Link, so Hyundai has their integrated telematics system in this vehicle, so you can precondition the cabin, utilize location services, start and unlock the vehicle, all from the comfort of your phone. You even have this beautiful panoramic sunroof, so let's open that up. And it's actually a nice day outside. I don't know if it's quite sunroof weather, but it's definitely getting close and I'm feeling the itch. You also have LED interior lighting, which I'd like to point out. And I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I think that's really all. We have glove box, upstairs glove box. Pretty
Ambient
deep.
lighting here too.
Ambient lighting there as well. I guess I'll show the ambient lighting.
Spencer Do asked, is that fabric on the dash? Yeah, so there's a little, just this area here really, but it translates to the doors as well. If you've watched our review of the 2021 to 2024 Tucson, you know there was a beautiful design line on the door that expanded all the way across the front end that I loved. So it doesn't exactly stand out as much, but it still has that.
It still integrates into the cloth that we see on the door, so it still kind of brings it over. I think more so probably on the driver's side than on the passenger side. But also here's your ambient lighting. You do have the custom color wheel, so you can go through and set it to a 64 different color options. So very nice to see. Lovely, truly lovely.
All right, we're at 27 minutes.
Oh my goodness. I'm gonna turn the vehicle off and then we're gonna go to the second row and I'll be really quick back there.
All right. And then before we end off today's live stream, there's something I want to show you guys that I always say I'm going to show and I always forget, but I remembered this time.
Oh, I don't even know what it is. Okay, so this is going to be your second row. You'll notice that our second row does have a nice amount of recline that you can adjust for these seats as well. They are in a 60-40 split. The legroom is fantastic on both sides. The headroom is great despite having a sunroof too. The Tucson has always been a comfortable and well-configured vehicle. The nice thing is even in the middle, our hump isn't too crazy big, so you're going to be able to get a good amount of vertical legroom here too. For some amenities that we have back here, these 2 main seats are going to be heated. We still have speakers in the back. We have pockets for stretch, rear ventilation here too, and then down below dual USB-Cs as well. So tons going on, and in terms of safety, this vehicle is also going to be equipped with rear occupant alert, which will let you know if you do leave something in the vehicle in the back seat, which is very handy. Nobody wants to do that. You also have things like safe exit assist, and when it comes to airbags in this vehicle, there are 8 different airbags, and the IIHS has rated this as their top safety pick plus when it does come to a collision. So although we have lots of great active safety, should something happen, it is highly rated in event of a collision.
Heated rear seats.
Yes, I did say that.
Okay.
Don't worry.
On the topic, can I give this to you for a second?
Of course.
On the topic of safety, I did mention the highway drive assist and the advanced forward collision avoidance and the front and rear sensors, and I think the side sensors, I don't know.
The side sensors are right there.
Yep. But there is more to this vehicle. I know.
Tell me more, Gabby.
So there's lane keep and lane follow assistance as well, all of which are going to be activated by the camera located in the windscreen. There's also blind spot detection, rear cross traffic collision avoidance assist, safe exit assist, and a whole lot more. And if any of those terms made you think, what is that? Don't worry, our channel has tutorials of every single one of those safety functions where we explained it and oftentimes actually showed it in use. So that might probably be a little bit better of an explanation.
I forgot to show the blind view monitor. I just realized that.
That's okay.
Okay.
Well, essentially what it is, there's a camera on the mirror. I don't know if you want to show the camera. I
So
did point it out.
you guys know those 360 cameras? What these cameras on the mirrors will do is when you use your indicator, when the vehicle is running, when it's on and you indicate a turn, it's going to pull up a screen, a live camera feed in either your speedometer or where your tach is to let you know what is going on, a live feed.
All right, you guys ready for what you've always been asking for and I always forget to show you? This car does have remote smart park assist, which means number one, if you get caught in a really tight parking spot, some massive vehicle parks beside you and you can't get in, number one, you can get your car out of that situation without hopping in. Number two, you can take your vehicle for a walk. Let's go. Don't be shy.
It's tired.
I'm too close. There we go.
So you're pretty sure there's no one driving there? Gabby, will it stop if it detects a person?
It does. I'm still holding the button.
Oh my goodness.
Right. It
And
also
she didn't die.
It goes backwards as well too. So let's say you lined it up perfectly with the spot you want to park your vehicle in, but you can't get yourself out of it. Your car can do it for you. Kind of forgot that it was moving for a second. I was looking at the camera.
You're like, wait.
Back and why is it so far away? I did that. So yeah, on the key fob itself, you can see forward, reverse. All you have to do to activate this is remote start your vehicle, and to remote start it, you just press lock, press and hold the remote start button. Your lights will flash. In certain cases, if it's cold outside, you might even hear your engine turn over, but for the most part, it'll probably be in EV mode for a while. Today, it's pretty cold, even though we're inside.
So you can hear it turning over.
Yeah, so you'll hear the engine turn over. Do you think we should answer a couple questions before we sign off?
I think we should.
Okay.
Okay. I'm gonna set this down. I'm gonna turn the camera around, so prepare for a jump scare. I missed it. There we go. Okay. So I feel like I've already seen some. Okay, I'm gonna stand over by you. That way I'm not blocking the car. Thank you.
It's okay, we can summon the car back.
Yeah. Floyd actually asked a really good question. How sensitive are those safety features? In some cars, I turn everything off. So with Kia and Hyundai's vehicles, a lot of the time, I'm gonna adjust the camera, is you can adjust your safety features in terms of sensitivity. So if you want it to actually be in an active assist, so for forward collision, actually apply emergency braking if needed, you can certainly have it set to that. Or if you just want it to be an alert, an audible alert, you can do that too. You can also usually adjust the time at which things kick in, if it's moderate, if it's slower, or if it's normal.
We got asked how close do you have to be for that remote smart park feature to work. I believe it's 10 feet. I might have to fact check that. All I know is that you can remote start your vehicle a lot further than you can park adjust it.
Yes.
That would be terrifying. Can you imagine sitting in your office job and you
see your car rolling up.
rolling across the lot? How many speakers are in there again?
8. There's 8 speakers. So we're just going through questions right now. So if you guys have any questions and we haven't answered them, feel free to put them back in the chat. It's Mr. Tim. Once again, Tim always complains about being in our videos, and he walks through here every single day.
It's like, you guys are filming?
I was just wondering when they're done yet.
Yeah.
Are they done yet?
No.
If you guys were wondering why we filmed a Tucson Hybrid today, it was actually Tim that told us to.
Mr. Tim, Tucson
Hybrids.
Tim.
Hybrids.
Hybrids.
Yeah, we
Thank
keep
you.
talking about hybrids.
We love hybrids.
Yeah.
So,
How was the video?
can you give us
Lots of good questions?
Yes.
Good.
Can you give us 5 facts about this car?
No idea.
Awesome.
Just come and buy it. That's the
Ladies and
easiest thing.
gentlemen, Mr. Tim Gross.
Yeah, but I'd rather you buy Kias instead of Hyundai.
Oh my goodness.
Don't say that.
Yes.
Don't, Hyundai watches this. They're going to be disappointed in us. Our Hyundai store.
Bye.
Okay, thank
Tim
you.
does not care.
Bye.
All right, you guys, thank you so much for watching. As always, while this was a live stream and we did have a live chat, it still gets posted as a regular YouTube video after. So if you have a question and you weren't able to ask us in real time, leave it as a comment. We'll get to it.
We'll see you there.
Eventually.
No, we will.
All right, bye.
All right,
guys.
bye.